Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth. And for today's video, I just thought I would do kind of a casual trying new makeup type video. So I just got in the mail the new Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint. So I'll be trying this out. I have one of the shades of the Patrick Ta new highlighter, and I have the new shade of the Mario Sculpting stick. So quite a few things to try out here, so I thought I would just kind of do a full face and let you know my thoughts. So I will have timestamps down below if you'd like to jump into anything. I'm not doing a wear test or anything today, so this is just going to be some initial thoughts on some brand new makeup. So I just did my skincare not too long ago. I actually just dermaplaned my face. I'm just going to add a little bit more hydration before I get started. This is the Delicate from Kate Somerville. When I'm trying out a new foundation or whatever, I want to just kind of make sure I have a nice hydrated base. I don't want to add any kind of primer or anything that's going to add luminosity. I just want hydration. So if you're new here, I am 39 and I have dry skin. So while that is sinking in, I pulled quite a few Charlotte Tilbury products. So I thought I would start off with her corrector. This is an old favorite, as you can see, and I'm trying to use this up. I have a backup, but I thought I would just try to use up the one I have. And this is in the shade Fair. I also applied that Delicate underneath my eyes earlier as an eye cream, so things should be nice and hydrated. When you do have dry skin, having a nice hydrated base really just helps product blend in a little bit easier. So the newest product, the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. And I purchased mine from Charlotte Tilbury. I believe it is available there currently, but it will be coming to Sephora soon. So they say that this is a light coverage hydrating foundation stick in 20 flexible shades that glides and blends for a weightless second skin finish and glow. So light coverage, radiant finish, and it has hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and daikon radish seed oil. So it says lightly glide on and blend from the center of the face outward. Blend it with your fingers for sheer coverage or with a complexion brush for buildable weightless coverage. Wear your perfect Unreal shade match for a supernatural glowing skin finish. Apply over existing makeup as a touch-up on the go for an instant soft glow effect. And the shade 1 Fair, which is what I have, is fairest with neutral undertones. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the component is pretty lightweight, I would say, which is good for travel. Has the signature kind of faceted Charlotte Tilbury cap, and that is what the shade looks like. It looks pretty good, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this is kind of going to be like a solid Hollywood Flawless filter, so I did pull mine out. I also have the shade 1 in this, so I thought I would do some comparison swatching. I also have the Fenty and Ilia complexion sticks, so I'll swatch those in a moment, but let's just kind of see how this does. Glides on quite easily. I don't think this is going to give a lot of coverage, and then I'm going to blend that out with my 106 brush from BK. This is what I like to use for the Fenty foundation stick. So on a hydrated base anyway, it does blend in very easily. That is the before and after, and as you can see, it gives a little bit of coverage, but you can still see a lot of, I guess, redness and everything poking through. I guess compared to an already hydrated base, it's not doing the most. Yeah, kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and I'll do the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter on the other side. So this is also the shade 1. And of course, this has the doe foot. One of the advantages to the kind of stick formulation is that it's going to be a lot easier for travel. If you don't like kind of this doe foot style applicator where you're putting it back into the tube. That's a big advantage. I know Charlotte Tilbury has travel sizes of some of them, but she doesn't make a travel size in the fair shade. Yeah, kind of interesting, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and swatch these on my arm. So hopefully you can see the Flawless Filter actually has the most kind of peach to it. I think I actually might need to put the Ilia on over this. I mean, if I were going for this level of coverage, I feel like I get this level of coverage just from like my sunscreen. I don't really know kind of what the point is. I have really liked a stick foundation lately. So this is the Ilia on top. So I feel like that gave me kind of some semblance of coverage. It's still pretty light, but there's that. Okay, so I pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury concealer, which I haven't used in a minute. This is also the shade 1 Fair. I think I always pretty much pick the lightest fair shade in Charlotte Tilbury, and I think this, it has a slight kind of yellowish tinge to it. I might need to take this a little bit down kind of on the cheeks. I was excited to see that the new Danessa Myricks concealer coming out. She did actually launch the fair shade with more of a, it looks like anyway, a pink or a cool undertone. I've never tried her Yummy Skin tint because whenever I go in to swatch it, it just always looks so yellow. I don't know that the Charlotte Tilbury foundation will get you maybe the coverage you want, but you can definitely combine a lighter coverage foundation product with a concealer to kind of camouflage or cover what you want. All right, I think that's a good amount. And I am filming at night, but if I were filming during the day or just doing my makeup for the day, I would obviously have a sunscreen. But I think that's kind of good for right now. So just to quickly do my brows, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Wow Brow. The new Victoria Beckham brow product looks really interesting, but I don't know, I didn't really feel the need to place an order just for that. I keep thinking one of these days, like for her Black Friday sale, I'm just going to just place a large order and kind of do a video, but just haven't done that yet. So just going over the e.l.f. with the Rare Beauty Clear Brow Gel just to give it a little bit more hold. And then to give some structure to the face, I'm going to use the newest shade of the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. I think I've posted some comparison pictures on my Instagram or whatever before, but I'm going to compare this. So I have the shade Fair. I don't really like this component. I feel like every time I'm trying to take up the cap off, I end up pulling the bottom bit, which is what has the brush. Does anyone actually use the brush or like it? I suppose I could just detach it and not have to worry about it getting in the way or whatever. But so closest to my wrist, we have the shaping stick in Fair, and then the shaping stick in light medium, and then we have the skin enhancer in light and the bronzing serum in Fair. All right, so I make sure I get the right one here. I'm going to use Fair and a BK 101 brush. So I have used this once before, and like I said, I just keep pulling off the wrong side. It's nice that he launched a new shade in this product. I still don't think it's my favorite, to be honest. For a contour stick like this, I would rather, I think, reach for the Fenty or the Milk. Hopefully you can kind of see the tone there. It's not as cool toned. So the Milk in Toasted. This is also, like, in terms of travel or just, you know, space in your makeup bag, this takes up quite a bit less space. You do get more product with the Mario. You get 10.5 grams as opposed to 5.7. I'm not sure what the price comparison is, but depending on how quickly you go through your makeup. So this is the Fenty in Amber, and this does come in a travel size. So that's a little bit more neutral. The Mario is in the middle. This is the Fenty, and then that is the Milk. So you can see that is leaning a little bit more into the rosiness, which works for my skin tone. I especially like rosiness in bronzers, but you know, when you're kind of blending this area of the face, the more you mimic kind of what the sun is going to do, in my case, give me a sunburn, the more natural it's going to look. So it's nice. It's just, again, not my favorite. As far as the actual bronzers go, I did want to mention, I finally got the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer, also in the shade Fair. I know it's a favorite of Amanda Z. She talks about it quite a bit, and I think it was also in one of the Allure Beauty Box subscriptions recently. But if you don't already have it, I believe this is a free gift with purchase on the Charlotte Tilbury website for orders over, I think, $100. And this retails, I want to say it's in the $40 or $50 range. So if you don't already have it and you were thinking about picking up the new foundation stick, so-called foundation stick, or any other products from Charlotte Tilbury, then you might want to add this. So I'm going to go in with this BK 105 brush and see how we do. It does kind of accommodate this brush size. So, okay. So that's definitely kind of picking up and depositing product. I think it might be a little much. I'm gonna take my beauty blender. I think that kind of brought it back. I wasn't sure if the first shade would actually have much of an impact because I have the first two shades of her powder bronzer, and the first one is super, super light. That one on me is almost a face powder, which is saying a lot. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder in one, and you can see this is also a favorite. I think I might dip into the other one just to get a more even application. So this is my backup. She did finally make these refillable. So this is a new compact, but it's the refillable one. And I'm going to take my, look at that, nice fresh powder. Take my BK 103 and apply that. Yeah, you can see even with like the concealer and foundation that I applied, I still have like some rosacea and stuff kind of poking through the center of my face. So taking a smaller brush and setting underneath the eyes. This concealer, it's not looking bad in terms of creasing. I'll just kind of lightly set. So there's that. And then let's play with, this is a Patrick Ta blush. This is the shade Not Too Much. Had this for a while, but I haven't actually played with it yet. I'm kind of curious how this interacts with his highlighter duo. I could have also, I guess, grabbed his like bronzing sculpting duo, but I think there's maybe a limit to that. So nice kind of neutral shade there. And I'm using my rougher number 5. This is mostly clean. So I'm gonna dip into the powder first and try to keep that higher up on the cheek. Did a full video a while back, I guess when he launched his foundation, to kind of, I guess, see how all his products work together. Of course, that was before he released this newest highlighter, and I don't know that anyone really likes his foundation, but these blushes certainly have been popular. So taking my finger then and going into the cream. It's definitely a nice color on me. Okay, I think that works. And then for the highlighter, so I got the shade, what's it called? Love something? My Love. So this is the lightest or white highlighter. He said that all of these shades are pretty much translucent, so you could kind of mix and match or go with whichever shade you want. It's not quite as skin tone dependent. And I have a bit of a thing for white highlighters and just, I guess, I don't know, kind of a Pokemon, gotta catch them all sort of mentality with them. Being as fair as I am, white is sometimes the only shade that will actually act as a true highlighter. So I'm going to use the Anastasia A23, and I believe this is described as like a kind of diamond. Yeah, definitely has some glitter sparkle. I think my preference, even with like a white highlighter, is to have, I guess, more of a true white and not have as much of a kind of glitter sparkle effect. It seems like a lot of brands, I'm gonna go into the kind of balmy side. A lot of brands do tend to, with their white highlighters, take more of a kind of glitter diamond approach. I think Pat McGrath's is not too glittery, and I know Mario has a white highlighter shade. I wanna kind of do a roundup swatching video at some point. That's just, again, one of those things where you just keep putting it off because there's always like a new product coming out. Hopefully one day I will get to that. Okay, so I think that is basically it for the complexion. So I think I'm just going to do something really quick on the eyes. I might actually dip into the Natasha Denona Gold palette. So using my Fenty primer. I still do want to, I guess, do a dedicated like swatching video for that palette. I think I have kind of a unique spin on this palette that I haven't seen anyone else talk about, so I'm going to hopefully have time to sit down and do that at some point. With some collections, you kind of, I don't know, you lose some momentum, I guess you could say. I'm gonna go in with Muiko, which is that kind of beige cream to powder shade. It's a little bit patchy. I think this shade, it might have been better if I had set my primer instead of using this to kind of set the primer, given that this is a cream to powder, not a matte. I'll take the shade Sandstone, maybe. This is a classic crease. I just want to do something kind of light on the eyes, pretty neutral. And then taking that same shade on my little flat definer, I actually picked up quite a bit. I'm going to take the shade Flesh down here, which is one of the repeat shades, just to kind of blend that out a little bit. All right, and then taking the shade Teak in the middle on a classic crease. I did a look in one video, I forget which one it was, but I used the shades from the original palette that have been repeated in this one. Let's try the shade Aura, that kind of white. I'm not sure how much this is actually going to show up. A little bit more of a topper maybe. Pretty though, especially for the inner corner. Let's use the shade Fizzy up in the corner. I'm just kind of going in here. I'm not really paying attention to textures or anything like that. Again, we'll talk about that in the video. Pretty shade. And this is a dry brush. And then I think I just need a little bit of depth on the outer corner. I think I'm gonna go with Nubia up on the top. Same brush. I think that's okay. I think once I'm just gonna take my jumbo blender from Sonia G without any extra product or anything, just a kind of clean brush. Just blend this out a little bit. I think once I do liner and mascara, it'll balance out. So I'm gonna do that off camera just for the sake of time, and then I'll be back to talk about some Charlotte Tilbury lip products. All right, so I think that's good for the eyes. For the lips, so you might remember, because it's been a while at this point, the Pillow Talk Fair extension that Charlotte Tilbury released. So I thought might as well incorporate them into this video. So I have the lip liner. which is pretty dead on for kind of the natural color of my lips. And then of course the lipstick. It's interesting because prior to Pillow Talk Fair coming out, I really preferred Pillow Talk Medium over Pillow Talk Original. I'm not sure if I like this one or Pillow Talk Medium better, but I was never really a Pillow Talk Original kind of girl. Yeah, so on me, it looks a little bit on the nude side. It's almost too nude. I think I like a bit of that pop that I get from Pillow Talk Medium. I might actually, let's see. I think this might actually look good with the Huda Faux Filter in Bombshell. Kind of wish the applicator on this were a little bit smaller, but yeah, I like that. Okay, so that is the face of makeup that I've put together for this video anyway. Let me know if you have any questions or anything down below, if you want any comparison swatches. I guess on the whole, I don't know that I would run out and buy this if you haven't already. It might kind of come down to form factor. Like if you like the idea of the Flawless Filter, but you want it in a stick form, then you might enjoy this. I can't think of any other products on the market like this, really. I'm sure there are, but I just can't think of anything. I know this has been duped to death, so she had to kind of innovate, I guess, but it's just okay. I think of all the products that were new to me, I do like the Pillow Talk Fair Pencil and the Patrick Ta Blush probably the most. The palette is pretty. It's not really my favorite color story from Natasha, but I think I need to dig into it a little bit more to get my full thoughts, so stay tuned for that video. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.